Rasmussen.
Rhett Rasmussen. This guy is so good.
Freshman phenom of
So
BYU
good.
men's golf. Welcome to Studio B. Utah Golf Association Player of the Year, among like 75 other things that you've won.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, it's our pleasure.
You have a better mustache than Eric Mika, by the way. I want to point that out right now. Congratulations.
When we
Thanks.
announced that you won the Goodwin at Stanford, I jokingly just called you Rhett the Jet. Do you have a nickname?
You know, I don't really have a nickname, but you can call me whatever you
I
want.
can call you. I can.
Yeah.
Rhett the Jet.
How do you not have a nickname yet? I mean, in golf, maybe you're less likely to have a nickname.
You know, I've had some nicknames, but probably
You don't want
probably
to
keep those now.
Speaking of nicknames, some of your teammates, Patrick Fishburne, namely, we hear that he is referred to as Ginger Quake or Pea Fish. Are those real things?
Those are real.
Okay,
I can confirm that.
Good. His source close to the situation confirms.
Yes.
Ginger Quake. What was it like to go to the Goodwin? You shot a 64, I think, in round 1. You win that tournament. Number 1 USC is at that tournament. What was that like for you?
You know, it's one of the biggest tournaments we play all year. So, you know, I was super excited. I wanted to bring my A game and finish well. You know, I never really thought about winning until the last round, but it was crazy to bring it home.
What was that final round like for you with pressure and emotions and what?
It was definitely a lot harder than the 64 shot, you know, because when you're right there with the lead, you're always thinking about it. You're trying not to look at the scoreboard, but, you know, it's just constant. You're feeling constant nerves down the stretch, but it's definitely difficult.
What's the best round you've ever played? I mean, was the 64 it, or have you shot a lower score?
Definitely one of them, but I shot a 62 at Sun River last year. That probably tops it.
A 62.
Is that Sun River, Oregon?
No, Sun River and St. George.
Oh, in St. George. Okay, yeah. That's amazing. You're a freshman, so how old are you? Are you 18?
18.
You're 18 years old and you shot a 64. What are the goals for you here with BYU and with golf and life and everything?
Obviously, you know, get a good education from BYU and just try to develop my golf career until I feel like I'm good enough to make the tour.
Well, speaking of the tour, another BYU alum, PGA player Zach Blair, upon you winning the Goodwin, said, "Hey, it's just the first of many." What's it like to have the backing from a guy like that who is on tour right now?
You know, it's great. Zach's awesome, you know, because you can see what he's done. So he can tell you a bunch of things that, you know, you need to work on, or things that can help you get on the tour, because he's been through it all before.
Tony Finau, I think, tweeted about you as well. He's a Utah guy. What's it like to have the support of kind of the local pro, Daniel Summerhays and everybody?
Yeah, it's great. You know, I mean, they can help you get in a lot of tournaments when the time comes, and it's just awesome. It gives you a lot of confidence to have those guys back you up.
I read on one of your bios you started playing golf when you were 3. What is your first golf memory?
Honestly, man, my first golf memory, I remember playing a tournament, playing a scramble when I was probably 6 years old.
Wow.
And I remember my team ended up winning, you know, when I was 6. It was crazy.
You were contributing when you were 6?
I was contributing when I was 6.
Good grief.
That's amazing. When you look at this team that you're on, and you guys just won the Ping Cougar Classic, I believe, awesome at Riverside, and then you host the West Coast Conference Championships next week at Riverside, open to the public, by the way. What was it like to win that? Win the Goodwin a few weeks ago, and now you're hosting this big time tournament. Things are going pretty well for you guys.
Yeah, you know, the conference championship's always a big deal. It's been a few years since we've won it, and since we're hosting it, you know, we really want to win it this year and have a lot of momentum going into regionals in a few weeks.
Rhett Rasmussen, BYU men's golf freshman phenom, with us in Studio B, winner of the Goodwin at Stanford, and BYU, as we just mentioned, getting set to host the West Coast Conference Championships.
Which is a big deal. I don't think that BYU's hosted it in league before, right?
No.
Is this first time?
First time.
First time. That's cool.
You were obviously super highly recruited by some of the top programs across the country, but you chose BYU. Why did you pick BYU?
You know, I just chose BYU because, you know, I've gotten to the point where I am in my golf career, you know, living in Utah. I didn't feel like I needed to go anywhere else. I didn't feel like any other school really had more to offer to me. So I just felt like I was comfortable here and I had everything I need.
Can any of the coaches hang with you guys? Are they still good?
Oh, yeah.
Coaching staff, like, could they beat you?
Oh, yeah.
What's the dynamic?
Oh, yeah. On any given day, they can beat us. Both our coaches, you know, almost. I think Todd Miller, our assistant, played on the tour for a few years.
Yeah. I know they're good. Like, If you played today, is it like a toss-up who's winning, or are you guys?
I don't know if it's a toss-up, but it's definitely pretty close.
Okay. Because golf is an interesting sport where you can play it a while, right? It's not like soccer, if you're like high 30s, you're like done playing at a high level. But golf, you can go.
No, you
go a while.
you can go into your 50s.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the recruiting pitch like from Bruce Brockbank and Todd Miller? Like, hey, if you beat me, you can have a scholarship.
Basically.
That would be amazing. What was it like when they recruited you? What was the pitch like?
They just said, look at all the players we've put on tour. BYU has just about as many tour players as anyone. So you just figure that's all you need. The proofs in the history, and that's what I thought.
Okay, do you have to own white pants if you golf? Because Spencer has white pants, and he has a
2-pair
tremendous
men's slim fit golf special.
Thank you for those details.
Yep.
A tremendous sense of fashion, right? Like, what role does fashion in golf play for you? Are you Ricky Fowler, or are you the other end?
Man, I gotta say our team is terrible with fashion. We wear black and navy way too many times together.
Yeah.
But I don't really do too much. But I definitely have a pair of white pants.
And like belts are important.
Oh yeah.
Certain swag, certain companies, hat,
Oh yeah.
right?
Always.
Who's your favorite golfer on the PGA Tour right now?
Favorite golfer?
Guess
Probably
the-
Rory McIlroy.
Speaking of white pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the Masters, by the way? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good. I always like it when a tournament comes right down to the end. Makes it fun to watch.
Give us an idea of that, because you had that with the good one. You had to, hold
Yeah.
off a lead and everything. What's it like coming down the stretch with the lead, knowing, okay, if I just kind of do my thing, I'm going to win here?
Did you feel Sergio's pain?
Oh yeah. There's so many times coming down the stretch, you're like, man, I just need one more shot, and then I'd be good. But it never ends up that way. It's always you got to make a putt on the last hole. So the nerves are crazy.
Great stuff from Rhett Rasmussen, freshman phenom for BYU men's golf. Let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma for your approaching tournaments.
Yeah, West Coast Conference Championships next week.
And we would also like you to sign our Stretch Y flag. All of our guests that come in and hang out with us do that.
We always have champions of the good one come in and sign this, just so you know. So
Rhett's signing the flag right now.
that dude's good.